I supposed to do now? Shit. I remember when you wrote this. I will be asked to choose between what they call protecting and remembering, and what they call forgiving. I will be asked to choose, and I will. Will my choice be the right thing to do, or will it be the wrong thing to do? Do you know when I felt closest to you?
Yo, sister! Thanks for the cologne. And now my chances of finding a soulmate are going to be 20% higher. If I shave, they'll be up another 13%. If your roommate's still single in 4 or 5 years, tell her to give me a call. We'll work something out. Love, Kick-Ass Seal, a.k.a. Slider.
Hi there, brother. I can't believe you bought your new laptop and sent me your old one. The lyrics to that Goo Goo Dolls song on the desktop are amazing. So, is Seawater still being a pain in the ass? Well, hell, that's how a teenager's supposed to be, right? I'm coming home to Robbie on Wednesday. Choose a movie, because I promised Robbie would go for his 10th birthday present. Love ya, miss ya, Nardine.
Having fun with the PC, eh? Well, it's better than dissecting bodies, isn't it? At least you're in med school. I'm still in a hobby fighting with logs and acceleration and have to deal with Albert's and Isaac's crap only because an apple fell from a tree.
I am kind enough to let you know that the facial nerve has 5 famous branches. Temporal, zygomatic, marginal mandibular, buccal, cervical. Did you know that? Exams are just around the corner. I don't know why, but I'm not feeling it. I should be tearing my hair out from stress. However, I like my hair and I need it in place. I think when I'm done studying this stuff, I'll know what's wrong with your face. And maybe I'll be kind enough to offer you help in fixing it.
Shit, you talk too damn much. I'm just kidding, sis. You can email me anytime you want about anything you want. Even about the hypodermicus systemus in the upper corner of the nose. Did you cover that in med school yet? About my face. If you make fun of it anymore, I'll kick your little nose backwards so bad, calling me ugly that my face needs some construction. Go fetch! Okay, I need to go read history. I'll talk to you in a few years at my wedding. If I find someone stupid enough, that is.
Look, you're the only person in the universe that I'm about to tell about this, so if any of this gets out to Mom, you'll be dead. Khaled called me, we talked for like 4 or 5 hours. He said that he's been talking to me too much the past few weeks and that he's becoming a Nardine-aholic. I know, you must be going yak right now, but let's be serious. Do you think that something will come out of it? Mayday, mayday, big bad sister calling out for help from little brother, over. You should be held with your back to the wall and shot. Why have you not emailed me these past 2 days? Give me one good reason and I will spare your life.
Why didn't I email? Physics shit, that's why. I hate these exams so much. About that guy. I don't know, this isn't kindergarten anymore. People are nice just because they're nice. Especially if it's a boy-girl thing. If he's good, he'll give you a sign. Don't go nuts like you're in some movie. Confused? Go read some book that's going to tell you a head's not a head, but a stemacolocusless. By the way, I'm thinking of changing my lifestyle. Less computers, less staying up at night, running when I have free time.
Have I got you right? You want to change the way you live? Do something other than spend all of your time in front of the PC? Yo, aliens, what'd you do with my brother?
Nardine,
Hi, Mom.
a seal's in a demonstration here in Arabe. Your father and I are there. We're trying to find him. He's not answering my calls. Can you try to talk to him? He'll listen to you.
Mom, can you put Dad on for a second?
Hassan.
What's going on, Dad?
Nothing's going on. It's quiet. A few policemen, some guys.
Just tell him to come home.
Hello?
Asil, you idiot. Mom is worried sick about you. Get your ass back
I
home.
can't hear you so good. Why don't you leave a message?
Voicemail. Fuck you.
Mom, the usual, typical, freaking out mom. Of course you don't listen to her, but I turn on the radio to see what's going on.
Jerusalem police fired rubber bullets and live rounds at hundreds of stone-throwing Palestinian riders on the Temple Mount East Jerusalem Friday, killing 4 and wounding more than 100. Dozens of police were also injured. The riders quickly spread to the West Bank and Gaza. U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright criticized the coup leader Ariel Sharon's September 28th visit to the Temple Mount as counterproductive.
Violent clashes are occurring inside Israel near the entrances to Nazareth, Al-Fahum, Arabe in the Galilee, and Taiba in the Triangle. There have been similar incidents in the Arab-Israeli sector over the years, but nothing as widespread as what is taking place now. Roads are closed all over the north, and checkpoints are more difficult than ever to get through.
Well, did you call him?
I did, but his phone was off.
Leave him a message.
I did, but if his mobile's off, he won't get it.
It doesn't beep or something?
Mom, the phone only beeps when it's on.
Send him a text message.
Mom, he won't get it.
Will you just do it?
Okay. Mom is worried. Go back home.
You know, why did you go to that demonstration? You knew that Mom and Dad were going to be pissed at you. Ugh, but whatever. They can't get mad that we have political consciousness, right? They gave it to us. Mom, Dad,
are we Israeli?
What?
A kid in my class said that we're Arab Israelis.
Sweetheart, listen carefully. You are Palestinian Arabs inside of Israel.
But the kid said I have an Israeli passport.
Nardine, can you find our village on this map? Arabe? Good girl. Now, what are all the other names on the map?
The villages that got destroyed in 1948?
That's right.
Do you remember when I took the two of you to one of the destroyed villages?
The people who used to live there had to run away to the West Bank and Gaza.
We're lucky to have stayed in Arabe when people from other villages were forced to flee. But we all belong to the same Palestinian nation.
Asil, what's happening this weekend on March 30th?
Land was taken by force from us in 1976, so we had Yom Art to protest. Land Day. There's a march every year since then.
We lost 6 on Land Day, and 100 wounded. Jamila, tell them what you did at the funeral of the martyrs.
I'm not so sure that's...
Before I met your mother, she was a leader for the Arab Scouts. And when they marched at the funeral...
I refused for our scouts to raise the Israeli flag at the funeral, even though that was the rule at the time. And then I refused to raise the Israeli flag at the school where I worked.
What happened?
They tried to fire her. But a lot of people intervened.
I was focused on politics at the time, but now I'm focused on you kids.
But they shouldn't have tried to fire you. That wasn't fair.
Nordine, Asil, this Saturday you'll come with your mother and I to the Land Day March.
Hassan, do you really think that's appropriate? He's only 8 years
They're old enough. They should think for themselves. Come on, let's go wash the figs.
It's Yuar. Asil's being taken to the hospital.
What?
He was shot in the shoulder.
Shot?
Yeah, but Dad said he's gonna be fine now.
Where did they take him? What hospital?
I don't know.
I called all the hospitals in the north. Is there a hospital in Tiberias except a patient with your name? Or Haifa? I call everyone I can think of, and finally Cousin Mustafa answers.
He was taken to Naharia Hospital.
I leave the university and immediately go to the bus station. I have nothing with me. No clothes, nothing.
Nordine, don't go home. The roads are blocked. Nobody can come get you.
Come mom home.
From the central bus station in Jerusalem, I take a bus to Tel Aviv. And from there, I take a train going to Naharia.
Oh, and I'm planning the moment I'll walk into your hospital room, slap you on the back of the head and say, "Stupid! You cost me 2 days of studying. How on earth could you go to that demonstration, get shot, and make all the swords think about you? Don't ever do that again." And you'll be like,
Sorry.
"Fuck you."
You know, you had to go to the hospital when you were 3. You had to get your tonsils out. You had really large tonsils. You couldn't sleep and you were snoring at night.
Chocolate or vanilla, Habibi?
Mommy, can I have ice cream too?
This is for your brother, sweetheart, okay?
I want chocolate.
Mommy, my uncle's taken out too.
Oh.
A seal. Nardine, look what I have for you. Sesame Street, please!
I don't think that's her
Get off, that was mine.
No, you get a bigger plate!
Mom!
I don't care who gets what plate. Get out, okay?
You got the Cookie Monster plate in the end. After 2 minutes, you didn't even want it anymore. You just wanted to win the battle. We fought over Lego parts.
I want 2 windows.
No, but I know there's 2!
They're my Legos, I get 2 windows.
What are you building?
A spaceship. What are you building?
Just a house. Is that another spaceship?
This one is a palace.
Stupid house. 4 brick walls, no doors, no window.
What's the matter?
I give up playing with stupid Lego parts.
Nardine? It's cousin Mustafa. Don't go to the Naharia hospital. Your parents, they already left. The police, they wouldn't let them stay with the seal. Get off the train.
Where should I get off?
I don't know. For now, just get off.
How am I going to reach you, brother? I'll get off in Haifa and take a bus to Carmel for now.
This was the exact spot I waited for you in Haifa with 2 of your classmates. Do you remember how irritated I
A
was?
seal, where the hell are you? The bus to Rabe is about to leave.
In 5 minutes we'll be there. 5 minutes!
Oh my god. Give me a break.
Come on, let's go.
Too late. Took off. Now we're going to have to call Daddy to come and pick us up. Thanks a lot.
Wait a minute, I can't understand you. Why do you get so stressed about things? Get a life.
You're always telling me that.
I have a life.
You don't have a life. What kind of life do you have?
Always, 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 because I'm in medical school and I don't have time for anything.
Will you download that song we just listened to?
Sis, that song has been on my computer for 2 years.
Okay, well I just heard it for the first time.
Sis, where are you living that you hear a song 2 years after it's released? Get a life.
Nardine, don't go to Carmel. The roads are blocked and nobody can come get you.
I get off the bus in Kiryat Violet. Dad is crying and I hear Mom behind him screaming.
What's going on? How is the seal?
Look, he was seriously injured, but we're sure he's going to be okay.
Then I realize it just hits me.
Look, I just want to ask you something. If you really love me, do not let them take him before I see him.
Where would they take him? I told you he's seriously injured. We're sure he's going to be okay.
Say whatever you like. The one thing that I ask of you, the one thing that is important to me, do not let them take him before I see him.
I just need to see you before they take you.
Mustafa, can you pick me up?
I'm near Muskov. I'll be there in half an hour.
Miskov. Remember when we used to swim with that pool in Miskov?
Hey, Tomer, watch out!
Oh, I'll get you for that, Estino.
That's why I get you first. Hey, Nardine, come in the pool.
How were you able to get along so well? I feel like a stranger there. Did you know that we were left off the transportation list? The people in charge arranged rides for other kids, but they told Mom.
Transportation from Arabe is not possible.
But there is a bus that passes through Arabe.
Arabe is not on the list of misgav. I'm sorry.
They were for Jewish kids.
I will take them out of the course, and I will make sure the checks bounce.
In the end, each time we swam, they made me call the office to remind them to pick us up. Every Sunday and Wednesday. I hated to make that call. Every Sunday and Wednesday. I stopped swimming. I stopped because in Jewish society, it's as if our history doesn't exist. It's as if we don't exist. Do you feel that way too? That Jewish Israelis are trying to erase us from their daily lives, trying to minimize our place in their consciousness? You know, when you and I fully get into someone's consciousness, they're always surprised. I can't tell you how many times I met somebody from Carmiel 10 minutes away from us and they say, "Oh, you're an exception." I don't think you pay much attention to that. But when I was a teenager, every time somebody told me I was an exception, I thought, oh, I'm special. I'm the only Arab who can speak perfect Hebrew and English. I'm the only Palestinian who's liberal and open-minded. It made me feel good to be an exception.
He's very seriously injured.
Mustafa, give me a break. He's dead.
No! The situation's difficult, but that doesn't
Mustafa, spare me.
He's not dead. He's just... He's seriously injured.
Well, we'll be home in 15 minutes and I'll know the truth.
We get home, and I get out of the car. I don't even look back to tell Mustafa I told you so.
Nadine, they killed your best friend. Your best friend is dead.
I fall into Dad's arms. Dad is crying. There's something in his eyes. It's like he's looking through me. Find Swar in the house. You know, Swar was too. She had this big curly hair, and I don't know if she did to piss you off, but you put this battery-operated car in her head, and you drove it back and forth till it got stuck in her hair.
Basil's classmate showed up late in the morning. I was surprised to see him. He hadn't stopped by in a long time. I woke Basil up.
Basil is Nardine's friend.
Rob is in your room. He's just sitting on your bed crying very quietly.
We were playing Mortal Kombat together yesterday. So he would break the record. When he left this morning, I asked him to get me a game for the computer.
Nardine's friend is dead.
I didn't know where they were going. I didn't even bother to wonder.
Why did he leave without saying anything? What if he never comes back? Who will help me with my homework? Who will help me with my computer?
There's bitter coffee in the living room.
They were best friends.
My head hurts so much.
Nardine's best friend is dead.
Someone give me something to cool my headache. Somebody gives me something. I don't remember who, I don't remember what. I just take it and I try to sleep. There's so many people in the house. Aunts, uncles. We put mattresses on the floor to try to sleep, and Dad sleeps outside if he sleeps at all.
I didn't pull him out of the demonstration. I didn't bring him home. I was a few meters away and I couldn't do anything.
I've never seen Dad like this before. Oh my God. What if Dad falls apart? Who's gonna protect me then? Dad is the strongest person that I know.
Hey Nardine, Tom and Jerry is on.
Why do you spend all your time in front of the TV watching cartoons? When I was in prison, I would read thousands of books. I would wake up at 6 in the morning and play sports. Discipline. Prison taught me discipline.
Might never have known what Dad experienced in prison if you had started asking him when we got older.
Hardest were the first few months. The worst was a period of interrogation when I was in the hands of the Shabak, the security agency. They had many tools to torture us with. Punching, beating with sticks, tying my hands to the chair, with the interrogator sitting on the table, pressing his foot in just very intimate places. The electric hat. Very painful shock.
How did you stay strong?
I don't know, I was a strong boy. I was 18 years old. I said, let them do what they want. I will never break. 5 years and 2 months in prison.
Why didn't you tell us any of this before now?
You don't want to plant hate inside of me.
But aren't you angry at them?
Be proud as Palestinians. And be proud as human beings. Freedom of one group of people never has to be at the expense of another's freedom. God doesn't give rights to one people only.
I miss the mornings Dad walked us through Arabe.
I spent my childhood in this village. Playing with marbles, setting traps for the birds. I worked the land in those days. Back then you could not leave the village without permission from the Israeli military administration. See those farmlands over there? Agricultural subsidies were given to hurt the Arab ones and help the Jewish farms. Back then you could not work the field without changing your name to a Jewish one. I was called Yafet. Nadine. Masil. Always remember, you are the roots in this land. You are the trees, the stones, and the soil.
Dad made me believe that I could change something. It might take years and years and effort after effort, but in the end, some small change will come.
Hey Dad, check out the banner I made for tomorrow's protest.
Shouldn't you be studying for your exam?
They should get involved, Jamila.
Of course they should. Just be careful. You never know who may be watching. Your father was a prisoner after all.
She's right. Be careful. But be strong. Keep at it.
Dad's love for us. It's like that Khalil Gibran poem for us.
Your children are not your children, but the children of life. Every father loves his son. Every father loves his daughter. The highest love one can have for their children is as Khalil Gibran described it. To love you enough to let you live your life.
The sound of birds waking up. It's really early in the morning. And I have this strange feeling of nothing being the same. And then I remember that you're dead. I hear the birds.
Shut the fuck up!
I walk to your closet and I find one of your Seeds of Peace t-shirts. I put it on, I need to feel close to you.
I was accepted into Seeds of Peace!
What Seeds of Peace?
It's an Arab-Israeli coexistence camp in America. I was selected by the Ministry of Education as part of the Israeli delegation. I'm going to the U.S.!
Good for you!
Hey Nardine, camp is great. The bunks, the counselors, the kids, the food. It rained today, so we didn't do much. But we're having fun otherwise. So, how's Dad? Mom? You? Are you doing okay? Did you clean the house yet, or are you waiting for me? Tell Mom not to worry if I don't call and that they're taking good care of us over here. By the way, I found out I'm great at baseball. The best around! Except for the Americans. You know, Americans. Baseball's in their blood.
Seed to Peace sounded like one of those programs with Palestinians and Jews and singing. That doesn't really touch the root of the problem, but I saw how happy it made you. Sitting in front of your computer, contacting everybody, making plans with people. I didn't want to ruin your excitement by criticizing it. And then when you got invited back to camp, I actually loved hearing how happy you sounded in your emails back home.
Asio!
We played a prank on the neighboring bunk. It was me, Adham, and Roe. Ned took us aside to give us a talk.
We know, guys, you're older now. It's your second year. I brought you guys back to be an example. Hey, Adam, thank you. For being an example. Everyone.
Look at us, Ned. We're an Israeli Jew, a Palestinian from the West Bank, and a Palestinian citizen of Israel working together to screw the bunk next door. Isn't that what Seeds of Peace is all about?
You told me how you guided the younger campers. I could have never have done what you did. You had a gift.
I feel so confused as a Palestinian girl living in Israel. On the one hand, I'm from an Israeli society. I carry an Israeli passport, yes, but on the other hand, I just have such a strong connection to Palestinians, and I just feel like I've been caught between these two worlds.
You're between worlds, true, but I don't agree that you're caught. That makes it sound like these two worlds are leading you. I can never take the word Israeli off my passport, or the word Arab, which I feel very proud of every time I hear it. We don't have to be caught. We can lead these two worlds. Rumi wrote, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. And when the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas, emotions, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. Someday, you'll be able to lead both sides to a field where IDs, passports, and checkpoints don't matter. And I'm going to meet you there. Don't bring anything with you, because you won't need it."
I always told you how I thought you were naive. I just wish I also told you how proud I am of you, of everything that you stood for.
I sent Mustafa to the hospital to sign the papers so they release Cecile's body.
Dad, they're gonna bring him here, right?
Yes, they're going to bring
You
him.
promise me. I need to see him.
I promise. They're going to bring him here.
As you are aware, Ali Nassar was also martyred in Arabe. How would you feel about Asio being buried in the Nassar family cemetery? Both of the martyrs buried right beside each other.
I want my son buried where my father was buried.
But think about how meaningful it would be to have both of the martyrs buried together.
No! No!
Seal-
No, absolutely not. No!
Asil is a martyr of the whole Palestinian nation.
True, but he was our son. He's Bara, Nardine, and Siwar's brother. There can be a joint ceremony, but he will be buried in our family cemetery.
Someone takes Barat to the neighbor's house, and then they bring you in the ambulance. They immediately take you upstairs. They need to prepare you to wrap you in white cloth, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. Finally, they bring you downstairs in the living room, and they put you there in that box, and there are maybe 300 people in the house. There's so much noise, you practically stand over us.
Stop! What is everyone doing here? Leave us alone!
Let's give the family a chance to give him a last kiss.
Everyone is crying and screaming and I don't know what, and I don't get the chance to be alone with you. And then they start putting you on their shoulders and they're taking you to the funeral.
Dad, I want to come with you.
Where are you going? You know women aren't supposed to go there.
Don't worry, I'm not going to chase after the coffin, get hysterical, and pull my hair out.
I keep thinking about the pillow they put under your head. It's from Mom and Dad's room and it's sticking out.
Come on, Dad, hurry up, they're getting away.
If only you could see the crowd. Thousands of people. Your death. 12 Palestinian citizens of Israel killed. This is something that shook the country. And 2 of the 12 killed in Arabe. The funeral processions meet in one big square, and they put both of your coffins, one beside the other.
There is no God but Allah, and the martyrs are beloved by God. Ashhadu inna la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu inna Muhammad Rasul Allah. We sacrifice our blood and souls for you, O martyrs, Asil and Ali. O martyrs, rest in peace, and we shall continue your struggle.
Dad and I stand beside you. I put my hands on your face. Your face is cold. There's blood clotted between both of your eyes and on your nose. Your eyes are swollen. You aren't shaved. There are flies coming all the time, and I'm trying to keep them away from your face. I love you. You know I love you. As if me and you are talking. When the ceremony is done, they bring you to the cemetery. There's a big hole in the ground. They take you out of the box. They read from the Quran. I have a silver necklace of the Palestinian map with me. You should have this with him.
In Islam, men do not wear gold.
It's not gold, it's silver.
Let her give him this. Put it here by his head.
They wrap a white cloth on your head and then they pour something over you.
Dad, what is that?
It's grandfather's ashes.
This is the grave where grandfather was buried. They took out his bones and ashes, and then they cover you with parts of porcelain, and then they put grandfather on top. The next day, Dad brings me to the spot where you were killed.
I want you to know what happened before we talk to the press. Lucille was sitting here under this olive tree. I recognized him from his Green Seeds of Peace shirt. The police ran at full speed in his direction. Lucille fled towards the olive grove, and I saw 3 policemen reach him. They struck his back with their rifle butts. He stumbled to a few steps and collapsed. I heard shots. Your mother cried out, "Asil! Asil!" The police came out from the olive grove and shouted at the demonstrators, "You can come and get him now." They left your body and blocked the ambulance from coming.
I just want to sit alone under the olive tree where you were shot, but people are scanning the area, collecting bullets and gas bomb containers and everything. Your blood is still on the ground. I collect all the stones with your blood on them. A friend of yours asked me for one later. It might be selfish, but I keep them all. And I don't know what to do about Mom. She's just falling apart. Unconscious at times or screaming all at once. She needs to take a bath. I practically have to drag her into the bathtub.
I saw the ones who murdered him. I saw them. Believe me. Mama, lift your arm up. Mom, you have bruises on your thighs. You have to stop hitting yourself.
They love Asil. So many people love Asil. Indeed, so many people.
They love him. They love us. They're here for us. But you have to get cleaned up. You have to be taken care of.
I hope he didn't know that he was shot. Did he know that he was shot? Did he know that he was shot? Did he know?
When your classmates come, Bra asks them all about you, like he's trying to collect the images in his mind, trying to hold on to everything that they said.
It's your fault I didn't get to see Asil! Why did you take me to the neighbor's house before the funeral? You think I'm not old enough? I could see my brother dead. I want to see him. Why didn't you let me see him? This is your fault.
I didn't know you were at the neighbor's house. I didn't know where you were. There were hundreds of people in the house, but I was not in control of what happened.
Your friends from Caesar Peace Cup, they cry. I cry. Seeing them is bringing parts of you back to us.
My first day at camp. Asil overheard me complaining that there wasn't any chocolate. He pulled me out of my bunk later that day and handed me some M&Ms. I never knew how he got them.
You were with Asil at that camp in the U.S. And look what happened to him. What piece is that?
What happened that he was shot?
He was chased, beaten, and executed at close range in his neck.
They buried him in his Seeds of Peace shirt. They buried peace. They buried it all.
What security risk could Asil bring to Israel? That he had to be shot dead. He couldn't harm a fly.
How can you look at the face of peace and aim at its neck? Maybe you should be asking your police forces those questions.
We will. I will.
If you were Arab, Israeli, instead of Jewish, we could have died, just like Asil did.
Nardine, lawyers from Adala, the Legal Center for Arabs, are coming tomorrow to collect evidence. And there's a meeting in Europe, in Tel Aviv, of European ambassadors, and they want us to present our case. Can you go?
I don't really want to leave the house right now.
But he's speaking better English than anybody else in the family.
Yeah.
There's a journalist from the Jerusalem Post here. She wants to interview you.
Tell us about Asil as a person, as a peace activist.
I talked to so many journalists. Most of them are sympathetic. But deep down, I know, when the truth is exposed, something will have to happen, something will have to change. And Star plays music on and on from the PC in your bedroom.
I want to transfer to SEAL's high school.
Why? It's the middle of the semester.
SEAL and I fought a lot. Maybe it can make up for the fact that we weren't close.
Seymour, if you transfer at a certain point, that halo of being a SEAL sister will fade away and you'll just feel lonely there.
You and his friends carry all these memories of him, when I carry almost nothing. Touch me.
But what are you watching?
A videotape of the funeral. There's a close-up of a SEAL's face and body.
Sweetie, that may not be... Nardine, doesn't the new term at Hebrew University start soon?
I don't want to go back to Jerusalem.
Nardine, you knew the values the SEAL stood for. You can't just throw your hands up and say, that's it, I quit.
Dad takes me to Haifa to catch a bus to West Jerusalem. Filled.
Where are you from?
Arabe?
Where?
Arabe? An Arab village north of Carmel.
Oh. You're Arab.
Yeah.
Then you must be Christian.
Why?
I don't know. You don't look Arab.
What the fuck does an Arab look like?
No, what I mean is, you talk such good Hebrew. You dress like any other Jewish girl, and you don't wear a headscarf. And you just seem so liberal and so strong, and...
So an Arab Muslim girl in this country can't be any of those things?
You're an exception.
An exception? Give me a break.
Classes start the next day. I take a deep breath, enter the lecture hall, and sit next to a classmate. We get into it immediately.
They were blocking roads, burning tires, and endangering the police's lives.
How dare you justify the murder of my brother? I thought you'd stand by me.
I changed my SIM. I delete my phone number. You know, sad as I am for you, brother, you should be equally sad for us because we're the ones left here without you, and things here are really bad. Living in this situation, you could die from frustration. Two Israeli kids are killed near the cave in the settlement Tekoa. In a supermarket with a Palestinian guy I know. We're shopping, and we're talking, and then some woman hits me with her cart. I turn around and she's just staring into my face.
Aren't you gonna say something? Something like, sorry?
Sorry? Oh, I'm not going to apologize to you. You're a murderer. You're just like the rest of them.
What?
You belong in Janine. Oh, you want me to apologize to you? You belong back in Gaza.
What are you talking about?
You murderer. You killed those two kids.
Lady, what are you talking about?
You belong back in Gaza, you murderer. You don't belong here. You don't deserve to be here.
What the hell do you want from me? Fuck! Just months ago, your police horses killed my brother and you're screaming at me?
Oh, God! Shut up! Stop! You're standing by her now. You forgot you're Jewish. You're giving them the leg. She's a murderer! You're defending her now.
Come on, lady.
She just turns around and walks out. I call Mom and Dad.
Go to the Arab Students Committee. Have a petition signed. There are other Palestinian students who shop there. They should have some protection too.
What are you
Call the Arab Knesset members. Call Azmi
What are you
Bashara.
talking about? Call somebody?
You have to do something. You can't give up.
I just need you to tell me that everything's gonna be okay. Please.
We owe it to a seal.
I have to go. I'll call you back later.
Let me tell you something. It's easy for Mom and Dad to fight. They're back in the village, surrounded by Palestinians, relatives, people who knew you. I'm back in the Jewish society. I have to be around people who don't know what I went through and don't want to know. I have to listen to people talk Hebrew all the time. I go to university with reserve duty soldiers. I have to live in that society. But I know that you want me to keep trying, and I don't want to let you down. I go home every weekend to be with the family. You'd like that. Dad spends hours sitting alone in the garden.
Life has no meaning with the seal god. Even if I lived in the Garden of Eden, it's as if everything's dead. I wouldn't even be able to smell the scent of flowers. I don't feel anything. I don't get joy from anything I do. I do my responsibility because I owe it to a seal. And to the other martyrs.
But is interested in everything that you love, like he's searching for you.
I try to get the meaning of the songs Asil liked, to understand why you like this song, why you like that singer. I think if you were here, you'd be happy about how I'm turning out.
He would be proud.
Sawar still won't open up to me. That's nothing new, right? Remember when we used to tease her?
Shut up, I do not!
Yes, you do. That's where you come from.
I do not come from a planet called Fuck You All!
At least Mama's cooking again. She does the laundry, and she usually manages to take Bora to soccer practice. But she's become like this battle machine, shooting in every direction. A police officer parks in front of Dad's shop one day.
What is your car doing in front of our shop? Move your fucking car! Move it!
The police officer goes to the principal of the school where she works.
Look, I think you owe it to her to listen to me. She has a lot to lose. We don't have anything to lose. She doesn't dare think that we'll arrest her. We could do it in the middle of the night where there's no one there to demonstrate or protect her. She should know we're not weak. We're being very understanding of everything she's been through. We feel the same pain that she's feeling. Things shouldn't have happened, but she's planning to go on pension next year, right? If she gets fired, there won't be a pension. She still has other children. Her daughter's a student in university. It's not just her life that's on the line.
I always carried it with me, but it's stronger since your murder. This feeling that very easily they could harm or kill us, that everything we have is fragile.
Mom, you can't keep picking fights with the police. It breaks my heart every time I see a soldier or the police, but this is an Israeli state whether we want it or not. You have to be wise. What are you doing in Asil's closet?
Nothing, just looking at his papers, his clothes, his shirts.
Mom, you've been in here all day.
I take care of everything of his, but I keep thinking of the future. How will these valuable items be treated? What will happen when Bara gets married and he lives here with his wife? How will she treat these precious possessions? It even crosses my mind sometimes to go in the backyard, dig a hole, put in all of his things, and cover it with cement so no one can touch his belongings.
More than anything, Mom wants to know that I will go on with the struggle.
Don't stop. Keep walking forward. I'm here today, but if something happens to me tomorrow, Nardine, someone has to take my place.
Mom, just because I'm not living my grief in the way that you are living yours, or remembering Asil in the way that you're choosing to, does not mean that I care any less about his memory.
I will die in pain if we are negligent in Asil's case. The whole world acts as if this has been a page that they... Where are you going?
I have to study for an exam tomorrow.
The demonstration begins in 30 minutes.
Mom, this exam is important.
More important than your brother.
So Bra and I join Mom and Dad at all of the demonstrations. Families of the martyrs choose Dad to represent them as a group. Their passion seems rekindled, and Swar is following in their footsteps.
Where is Bara, Nardine? Where is Bara?
It's okay. He's safe, Mom. He's fine. He's just over there at empathy.
We won't give up. We will go on until justice is delivered. For everyone. The 12 who fell are not merely numbers. Each one had a name. Each one had a dream. A home. A future which has been terminated.
Nardine, you're not passing out enough flyers. Mom, I'll pass them out. Good girl. You know what I say? Only women can make a change.
I'm holding the signs for your brother. I'm chanting the slogans. I do the interviews. But they're starting to make me feel empty. I do the interview, I go home, and nothing changes. I'm tired. But Mom, she's the opposite. It's like she's politically reactivated.
We mothers of martyrs must make a joint front. We cannot depend on the fathers. If we want change, we must start that change. When all the doors are locked in my face, and I'm bearing mountains on my shoulders, there is water running through my chest. That water must dig its way through. It must demolish the mountains to find its path.
She almost sounds like you used to, about making a change.
This planet has gone mad, and it's going to blow up. It's only a matter of time until it happens. And the only ones who can stop it are young people like us seeds. Do you realize how important we are for the adults? For those who've only witnessed war and sorrow. We are their hope. This planet needs us more than ever.
You should put all of the energy that you're putting into Seeds of Peace into the bigger and more important struggle. Defending the rights of Palestinians.
This is where we, the little people, can be effective. We're the ones that make peace. Peace between people, not between leaders.
A Jewish Israeli spends a couple of hours with a Palestinian, hears very sad things, and then goes home and nothing happens. The Jewish community is not ready for that kind of change. I mean, they can maybe acknowledge that there's some kind of discrimination there, but very, very few Jewish Israelis even acknowledge the fact that their country was built on the ruins of our nation. Do you really think you can reach them?
Even if I only reach one person deeply, or a few people are changed a little bit, that's still a part of achieving peace.
If anyone can do it, brother, you can.
That essay that you wrote to your Seeds of Peace friends on the anniversary of the 1976 Land Day killings, find it and I print it out. I need to read it to tap into you. You called it Peaceful Thoughts.
March 30th. Yom Il-Ard, as they call it in Arabic, Land Day.
Nothing but anger that day comes to my people's mind. Nothing but memories of the sad day when a group of Israeli soldiers tried to kick the local citizens out of the village. What village was that? It was my village, Arabe. But back then, people knew nothing but bloodshed and losing those who are close to them. As Land Day has come like every other year, I should fulfill my duty as an Arab and bring their memories to life. We should never forget. We should forgive.
I know that's what you believed, and I want to be able to do that. I started working in the hospital. The staff there seems really nice. There's a nurse there named Yael. We're scheduled to work with each other on Israel's Independence Day.
Okay, if we have to work on Independence Day, let's at least have a barbecue.
Yeah, like, don't celebrate Independence Day.
Come on, what difference does it make? It's an opportunity for Israelis to celebrate something.
Yeah, I'm not Israeli.
What do you mean?
Israel defines itself as the Jewish state. I'm Palestinian, I'm not Jewish.
If you define yourself as Palestinian, why don't you move to the West Bank?
I don't have to move. Israel came and built itself over my land. I didn't move to Israel. Israel moved to me.
This is the only home Jews have.
It's my home too. I have rights, Yael.
I just never knew you thought this way. What about the suicide bombers?
It's impossible to work like this. I have to stop getting into political arguments, into any kind of conversation about the situation. The minute I walk into the hospital, I have to switch off all of my anger and frustration. I promise, brother, I will turn it back on the minute I walk out, but at least I'll be happy inside the hospital. I'll do my job, people will love me, I'll love them. Maybe I won't love them as much if I meet them outside of work, but I'm sorry, Asil. I can't tell people about you at the hospital because if I do, politics will come between us and ruin all of my working relationships.
The violence and the anger sweeping the Middle East are making it ever more difficult for those still trying to sow the seeds of peace between Arabs and Israelis. NBC's Martin Fletcher has case in point.
They learn young in Israel that with the fury and the violence between Jew and Arab comes the pain. And they die young too. Asir Aslan, an Arab, was 17 when an Israeli soldier killed him this week. His family stunned.
I feel a big hole inside.
His sister Nadine.
I hope he didn't die for nothing.
Asir is mourned by Jews too.
And he wasn't my Arab-Israeli friend. He was a friend of mine. You know, the fact that he was Arab was, something that came along with the fact that he had a beard and the fact that he loved music.
The Jew, Moran Eisenbaum, and the Arab, her friend Asir, were fighters.
Let's please get to the point that you shot live fire.
The campaign that Dad and the other families lead has an impact. The Israeli government decides to hold a commission of inquiry. The police who ran after you will be put on the stand, and the truth about your murder will have to be told.
Shimoni was shouting from the grove that someone was injured. I crossed the street and looked down into the grove. I saw Shimoni and I saw a guy lying there.
Were you interested in how that could have happened?
At that point, I couldn't try to find out. The riot was still taking place.
I mention this because you wrote a report. This report doesn't discuss the incident. Why?
I wrote that report after midnight, highlighting certain events I found important enough to write down.
Mr.
I didn't write that down! I didn't write that down.
Mr. High, can I please know why? You wrote it on October 3rd. By then there must have been rumors of people being killed.
True.
And you could have imagined, just maybe, not for sure, but maybe he was one of the people killed. What could be more important than reporting on these circumstances, facts, and testimonies by the police right after a young man was killed?
Maybe it slipped my memory.
Look at Seal's picture! Who you killed!
Anyone who makes another sound will be sent out immediately.
Mr. Seal! Mr. Seal! Out of your memory! Look at the boy you killed! Look at the boy you killed!
Tell us what happened.
There was a large group of people in the olive grove. They were coming our direction. As we ran towards them, I saw a youth in the olive grove. He stumbled, tried to get up again and run, and then fell down. We ran to the youth. Shimoni got there first. He was lying on the ground face down with a blood stain on the back of his shoulder. Shimoni lifted him up so we could see his face, and I understood he's injured by the look in his eyes. You could tell they're not. They're unconscious.
Can you attempt to explain what happened? How did the youth get shot?
I really don't know.
Now you referred to the youth in the report, and you were satisfied by only one sentence. We were attacked through the olive grove. I noticed someone lying on the ground.
Yes, but now I explained that. Before I also saw him run and fall.
Why didn't you mention it in the report? Out of brevity?
Could be.
You said the youth was running.
Right?
Tripped as you were chasing him, intending to arrest him.
Right?
And as he tripped, he tried getting up. And afterwards you saw him lying on the ground, bleeding.
Right?
When was the moment he was shot?
He drew back a few meters, and apparently when he tripped, that was the moment he was shot.
That was the moment he was shot.
He tried to get up, but...
In other words, this young man was shot before your very eyes. You can't possibly define where the gunfire came from.
Really, specifically, I really don't know. And as I know, and as I wrote, this is all a mystery to me. This whole story, how he was shot.
To summarize what you know regarding the injury and death of the youth, you don't know what happened, you don't know how he was shot, and you don't know anything.
I say this in extreme honesty. I was in shock when I saw the look in his eyes that will always follow me. This shouldn't have happened. This didn't have to happen.
Reporters are waiting from us outside the courtroom.
What was the seal doing at that demonstration in the first place? Palestinian protests are known to become violent. The police were following up on protocol. What else were they supposed to expect? That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Are you suggesting that the murdering my son was justifiable because he was at a demonstration? How dare you stand in this courtroom and ask me questions?
I'll leave the reporters. Go with Dad. Go.
What was the seal doing at the demonstration? You're a peace activist and a teenager. That's why people question your murder, why Israelis question your murder even just a little bit. But it always got back to you. But what was he doing at the demonstration? If he was there, he must have been violent. And the other martyrs, nobody even questioned their murder. I'm sorry, Hasil. But you weren't better than the others who were killed.
Nardine, we'll see you at the protest tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
I hate this. What good does it do? No matter how many confrontations that Mom gets into, how many interviews I do, how many marches I attend, how many hours of testimony that I sit through,
Who and what am I changing? I cannot change an entire people's racism.
Regardless of whether or not you change their racism, regardless of your frustration, we have to fight for our humanity, for our future.
It's been decades since Labor Day. Each year at the memorial, my people know nothing but anger. It became a duty. What can I say for a mother who lost a son, or a sister who lost a brother? I stand worthless to bring them back, but powerful enough to bring back their memories. We should never forget. We should forgive.
We can't start forgiving before we see the smallest of steps towards acknowledging the crimes done to the nation in general and your murder in specific.
In a few years, my seeds' friends will become soldiers. They will join the army to protect their families. But will they stay the same? What'll happen if they become like those soldiers that tried to kick us out on land day, and duty calls them for what they call protection? What then? Will they stay the same?
A handful of your Jewish Israeli friends from Seeds of Peace were turned upside down by what happened to you. Those that were with us through the process of your death and the investigation. Few even refused to join the army. But what about the hundreds of Jewish Israeli seeds who promote dialogue with Palestinians and then fight in the West Bank and Gaza? What impact did you have on them?
Rumi wrote, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there."
There is no field of wrongdoing and a field of right doing, but there's something in the middle out beyond that. There is a definition of right and a definition of wrong, and I don't want to meet anyone who would acknowledge that something wrong happened to you.
We can determine that police fire caused the fatal injury to a SEAL. We can also determine that there was no justification for them to fire at him. He did not represent any danger to them. However, we cannot point to a particular officer as the one who fired the shot. It is possible that an additional investigation on the part of the Police Investigations Department will yield results that we did not achieve.
An internal police investigation. As if the police would actually investigate themselves.
There is justice, and there is justice for Arabs. I'll need to call the mothers of the other martyrs. We need to make some kind of joint response.
A group of Israeli seeds, your friends, protest. They write letters to Judge Orr.
We are shocked by your decision not to recommend indicting any of the police officers involved in the October 2000 killings.
Your Honor, if the victims were Jewish, you would be sure to bring those responsible to account. In fact, you would not even face such a dilemma. In instances in which Jews even violently demonstrate, no police officers have fired weapons and no demonstrators were killed.
But these were Arabs, and therefore they were not deemed as protesters, but rioters, and were greeted not with clubs, but with rifles. This was not some Jewish teenager, but Asil Aslet, whose contagious smile, man, you never knew.
Therefore, rather than face trial or indictment, his killers remain free and in uniform to defend our country. Our country which, with your decision, has disowned its Palestinian citizens.
Dear friends, of the seals, of mine, of ours. In these difficult days, there is nothing more comforting and calming than to see you demonstrating for a seal and for justice. I am not good with words, so I'll keep it short and just say that I am proud of you. I am proud to be your friend, and I am proud to be on your side in this struggle.
You have friends fighting for your brother, but still the police do nothing for a whole nother year. They call Shimoni, the first policeman who reached you to take a polygraph. He doesn't show. Says that his phone was broken and that he never got the message. The next time, he doesn't come because he says that it's too far and that he's very, very hurt by the request to take a polygraph. 5 times he refuses to come. The police don't force him to cooperate. They don't investigate anything. I'm frustrated, but I'm not surprised. And then they really cross the line. They want an autopsy. They want to dig you out years after you were buried and cut you apart. And then they say that the investigation isn't progressing because we're not cooperating. The Attorney General closes the court. No officers face charges. I'm sorry, Seal, but we didn't succeed. There was no way to succeed.
If we can't find justice here, we'll go to international court.
International court? Mom.
We owe it to a seal to continue this battle, Maggie.
You're a part of a seal, and a part of the whole Palestinian nation.
I will be asked to choose between what they call protecting and remembering and what they call forgiving. I will be asked to choose. And I will. Will my choice be the right thing to do, or will it be the wrong thing to do? Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will be there. I will see you when you get there.
This struggle is not allowing me to have a normal life. I just want to remember you how I want to remember you. Personal. At home. If I keep fighting, I'll be stuck with sadness, hatred, disappointment. I'll never be good at my job. I'll be miserable. I'll bring miserable kids into this world. I go to very few demonstrations now. I barely watch the news. Forgive me, Asil, but I don't have the power to fight anymore. I want to finish my residency. Open a clinic. To have a husband who loves me. We'll take care of each other. We'll have a nice house. We'll raise children together. I hope my children will have enough strength to fight. Not to live the struggle, but on the personal level. If they are to come against some discrimination, I want them to stand for themselves, not to just give up and say, fuck it, I'm moving to Denmark. The fact that I'm staying here, me staying here, choosing to raise children here, it's not a very active form of resistance, but just by staying, it means that I deemed myself to struggle every single day of my life.
I will go on. I will make this planet a better place to live, and I will go on. For all the souls who only saw pain and sorrow, I promise you, I will go on. Until we meet in the field, my friend. Take care.
brother. Take care in your field.